Hello everyone, I'm back. This is Kevin here. Been a while since I've made a video, isn't it? So one of the reasons it's been that long is because there wasn't really any changes. I was still in pain from my back and my rib. I'm pretty sure I told you guys about that. There was some discomfort and everything, and there was not really any changes, not really a big evolution. I was just a bit more concerned, so I decided to go to see my GP about it, and a lot of things happened since then. So I decided to record this video to give you a good rundown, a good summary of what happened since all this time. The main reason is because I might have a new MS symptom, and you know, it's something that potentially people in my situation could have. So I figured, you know, having some sort of reference, point of reference in time, someone else actually telling you that story might be interesting. So without further ado, let's get started. A few months back, probably in October, November, after I finished my physiotherapy, I injured my rib, and that rib was very painful at one point. It went down and it just manifested itself as a cramp, a muscle cramp on top of my rib and everything. It turned out that it ended up becoming way worse than this and was more painful. It was disruptive. It was preventing me from doing the physiotherapy required for my back. So I decided to go to the GP and tell them about it, and they were like, oh, okay, that sounds a bit weird. It's probably because your stomach is inflamed. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you lansoprazole, which is a medicine similar to omeprazole, and you're going to take that for a month because it sounds like your stomach is inflamed due to your medicine. And usually when your stomach is inflamed, it manifests on the upper right hand corner around the lower ribs, which is exactly where I had my problem. And I was like, okay, they must know what they're doing, fair enough. So I did that. Also, I was in pain, so I didn't really necessarily argue too much. So I did that. It didn't work. Didn't do anything. Actually, sorry, my bad. It did do something. At that point, I had very bad acid reflux, and lansoprazole just got rid of it. Even after I stopped, acid reflux didn't come back, which is fantastic. I had like regular, even before the MS and before the medicine, I had regular acid reflux and blah blah blah. This gone, finished. I'm happy that it doesn't happen anymore, but the pain was still here, so that defeat the purpose of that thing. So I went back to the GP and he decided to do more blood tests because I don't know, maybe maybe it was coming from any of my organs that could have been inflamed. So we did a lot of liver activity testing and everything. We realized that my liver was actually activated, yes, fairly high, but not necessarily that high for an MS patient. So right after the blood test, I went to the US for work for 3 weeks. There, the pain was on and off. I had some moments where I had to just leave everything, go back to my hotel room and rest. But it was okay. The flight was not great, as you saw in my last video. But it was okay. Now I've gone back to the point of my previous video, I remember. So when I came back, I had the results of my blood test, and the results were my liver is very activated. I need to do an ultrasound. I did the ultrasound, and oh surprise, I am very healthy. Most of my organs are, actually all of my organs, the spleen, the kidneys, the gallbladder, fine. They are in a pristine condition. I'm very healthy. My liver is a bit fatty, and what that means is I have a buildup of fat around my liver, which prevents it from working correctly. That can be caused by heavy drinking, smoking, taking too much medicine, unhealthy lifestyle, not eating enough healthy food, not exercising, things like that. I do tick a few of these boxes, but compared to the levels I'm supposed to have and compared to the levels that I do have, and also the tendency, the change of this number, it looks like it's a lot related to my medicine. I've not stopped drinking, that's completely not true. I have reduced a lot my intake of alcohol. I eat healthier, at least I tend to eat healthier. I can't do any exercises, that's true, and everything, but I'm taking very strong medicines that are really fucking me up on a daily basis. So that really looks like it's related to that, and my doctors agree. So there's that. And I went back to my GP, telling them about the ultrasound. They got the report, they got the results. And basically I was diagnosed with costochondritis, which is not a magic term, but that basically means that the cartilage that is connecting the ribs and the sternum is inflamed, which, was fitting a lot of the pain I was describing and the sensation I was describing. But I don't really hurt on the sternum. I do hurt, but just not that bad. It's really on the edge of the ribs here. So I was confused, but I was prescribed, I was referred to a physiotherapist on the objective to re-educate that rib and get rid of the inflammation. Normally for costochondritis, you basically rest for 6 weeks and then do physiotherapy. It's been 4 months, so I just went straight away to physiotherapy. The problem was, after 1 month of physiotherapy and taking anti-inflammatories and painkillers, I ran out of anti-inflammatories and I was squealing in pain for 2 weeks in a row because my mind was numbed by the pain. For 2 weeks in a row, I was in tremendous pain. My whole ribcage was hurting. My whole back, my whole spine was hurting. Instead of just a few areas, something was wrong. And my physiotherapist referred me to her friend's spine specialist, which I saw last week. And the spine specialist recommended that I do a few MRIs, the lumbar spine area, the coastal spine area, and the rib cage. Basically meant that I had to stay around 2 hours within an MRI machine. That was not pleasant. I've done a lot of MRIs before. I fell asleep in most of them. I'm slightly claustrophobic, but I got so used to it that it's hardly fazed me anymore. So I did that. It was painful. When lying down on my bed, I'm already hurting. So I'll let you imagine what it feels like to lie down in an MRI machine. It was not pleasant. It activated all my pains for 24 hours, and there was nothing I could do about it. It was really, really crippling and painful. So that happened, and I got the results yesterday. And the results are as good as they are bad. So it is probably the less life-threatening answer I could have, but is also the most frustrating, plausible thing that could have happened. Let me explain. I was looking with the surgeon at my MRI images and nothing shows up. I have tremendous back pain. I feel areas where my back is prevented to move. I feel things that, like tensions and things like that. And my rib, I really feel the muscle twitching and tensing. I feel the pain in my bones, but I have nothing. So the only plausible conclusions we could have, there are two. First one, when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, it was due to my cat dying in front of me, being run over by a car. It was very stressful and traumatic. That provoked the symptom of paresthesia that I mentioned before. Not long afterwards, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. That was the latest triggering event. And I had to confirm that diagnosis, I had to go through a lumbar puncture, and it had to be repeated 7 times in a row. All of those, this emotional trauma and the physical trauma, could have conditioned my brain into having an emotional and physiological response as a self-defense mechanism and created all that pain. Now, the pain is real whilst having no real physiological reason to feel it. But the pain is still activated by regions of my body. They should not create pain, but they are. Now, that's one option. It's very possible that it's that. And there's another very possible option. It could be MS. The whole concept of MS is your brain misinterpreting the nerve signal that are sent out throughout your body. That can cause to disabilities because you cannot move your limbs anymore, you can't feel them. And it can cause confusion and irritations and frustration and everything, because your brain misinterprets the nerve signals sent out throughout your body. But that also means you can cause pain. If that's the case, then there are painkillers destined for nerve-induced pain and neuro painkillers. I don't even know how they're called. I was told that they exist, and basically if it's that I should start taking them. But if that's the case, that also means that I've been taking a treatment for multiple sclerosis, i.e. take Fidera, for a few months now. It's not working because I've been having pain since my lumbar puncture. Now, maybe the pain was real to begin with, and well, actually the pain was always real, but the pain was physiological to begin with and then became not psychological, neurological afterwards. I don't know, and I'm too tired to figure it out, at least not now. And it could also be both. It could be the psychosomatic version of it, as well as multiple sclerosis symptom. Now, this has a few ramifications and it has a few things that I need to watch out for. First, if it is psychosomatic, that means my brain's conditioned itself into feeling that pain. And the reason I'm feeling pain in my ribs now is because I exerted myself a bit too much and I caused that pain to appear. My brain is now registered it as a constant pain. Hence, my back and my rib. If I don't watch out for myself, I might create another permanent pain before I can deal with all that. At least that's what I've been told. So of course, it seems relevant that I'm gonna watch out for it. And you know what, even if it's MS, it's possible that it might work the same. So I'm gonna watch out for that. I should still continue on living my life, but I have to find a balance between what I can do, what I should do, and what I should avoid to do in order to not create more pain. Now, although my physiology is fine, I am very healthy, the medicine that I'm taking for physiological reasons, basically I'm taking an anti-inflammatory, but I'm not inflamed. And I'm taking codeine, but I shouldn't be in pain. But this combination of medicine actually kind of helps sometimes. And in that case, that I should still take them, although my body doesn't necessarily need them. So there's that. It also means that my pain and my problems are not, isolated symptoms and more long-term problems that my insurance is not going to cover. It means that it's a lot harder to explain, it's a lot harder to apprehend and comprehend. It's difficult. It's difficult because right now that means that I don't have any sort of idea on how, when I would get better. I was about to say if, but I'm pretty sure I will get better. It's just that I don't know when, or not even have an idea of that, and that is frustrating. And the reason I'm pretty sure I get better is because, well, there are ways to get better again. I mentioned them, the painkillers, there's physiotherapy related to that. It's my brain's condition itself. There's definitely a way to uncondition it or condition it somehow else. There will be a day where I'm not feeling these pains that much or at all. And I know that will happen. It's just that I don't know when or how. And you always feel, when you have all your friends and family that have been that supportive, when you do all of these tests and you think you're getting somewhere, and you really feel like you're getting somewhere, and you just put back to square one with proof that you shouldn't be feeling pain, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I don't know what to say. I'm saying it to my friends and family and all that. I know so little what to do that I can never answer the question. That I can never answer the question, what can we do for you? And I'm so grateful that people are caring enough to ask this question. I never had an answer for it, because if something can be done for me, then I will do it. I won't even think. If it is seeing a friend, I will contact that friend. If it is doing something, I will do it. I don't know. I don't ask myself these sort of questions. I just do stuff and I deal with it. Now the hardest position I'm in is there's literally right now nothing I can do apart from getting high on codeine, which I hate. So yeah, that's my latest update. I will give you more information. I've been referred to a pain specialist and we'll talk about how to get rid of it, how to manage it, and everything. And yeah, I will keep you up to date. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.